I'm enjoying the Christmas season. Start with my head. There we go. How is everybody? Hunter, how you doing? Airgun Johnny, how you doing? Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas, Airgun Johnny and Hunter. Well, if you just came into the stream, give me some likes. All right. My air gun, my new air gun, comes tomorrow. Now, a lot of people like the semi-auto. I like it too. But I decided to opt for something a little more long distance and a little bit more something pinpoint accurate. And that's a brake barrel with a scope. Thank you. I'm liking that. I got my first like. Airgun Johnny, I'm still waiting for that crossbow video. Haven't seen it yet. But I can understand. It's Christmas. You got to spend time with the family. More. Okay. Well, I'm glad everyone's here. New stuff is coming. Let me I got this. I was inspired to do this by one of our air gunners. Get a separator for my BB, for my basically my pellets. Awesome. So I can put all my pellets in separate locations and not having to deal with all the cans. I can just have it right there in one place. It was a good idea, so I adopted that idea. I know many of you are just ecstatic for the Christmas season. And so am I, because it's the birth of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I know we're not living in a great time right now. I don't know what that means. Slingshot war. It sounds powerful, though. I don't know what it means, but well, if you just came into the stream, give me some likes. Oh, okay. Awesome. Early riser. So I got my new brake barrel air rifle. I think it's a nitro piston, which is okay with me. Instead of a spring piston, it's a nitro piston. That's going to be pretty cool. It's coming tomorrow. Tomorrow is only a day away. And when I get it tomorrow, I'll take it out into the backwoods. Has been raining lately. It's a very soggy backwoods right now, but I can handle it. Well, thank you, Chad. I'm doing quite well. I'm having a good Christmas season. Um, I'm doing quite well. God is good. Um, my life is doing quite well. Oh boy, you don't have anything for the little ones and your wife, and I know you're a married man, Air Gun Johnny. You got to get ready for Christmas, right? You know, Christmas dinner. You know, I would suggest some of these Christmas classics. Like I don't know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Well, everyone has a right to their own opinion, but your disrespectful attitude goes. I'll put it this way: there are a lot of great crossbows on the market these days. A lot of great ones. There's a lot of great repeating crossbows on the market. Um, I know, Airgun Johnny. Sorry about that. But that guy had to go. You know, they like to disrespect people for, being a little chunky, I'm not that fat, really. You know what I mean? There's a lot of guys that are bigger than me. You know what I mean? Oh, exactly. Exactly, Chad. A lot of great crossbows on the market. Like I say, there's a lot of things to like about crossbows these days. Crossbows are very good. Anyone can buy one for starters, and they're lethal. Um, they're quiet, which means you don't have a lot. You can shoot them without making a lot of noise. Um, you know, so that's another valuable thing about them, and they're available no matter where in the world you are. I mean, they're available to anyone anywhere in the world. And with the new crossbows, stepping up on technology, for example, the repeating crossbows, you know, yeah, that is a reality, but it's only in New Jersey. Everywhere else, Maryland, your state, air rifles, you can still get a PCP, and that's not like legally regulated. You know what I mean? In the power department. Europe, yeah, you're going to get a lot of regulation. That's why I always suggest crossbows to my people in Europe. You know what I mean? But who wants to go to Jersey? I don't. No, man. Jersey is full of garbage. No, man. It's not the Garden State. It's the garbage state. As bad as my state is, I would never want to live in Jersey. Understandable, Angelique. Well, I would suggest the Smith & Wesson throwing axe set if you want to get into axe throwing. Air Gun Johnny. That's true, Angelique. God bless Texas. No travel, but I do have plans to spend time with my family. Chad. I have a family, you know. I have people who care about me. I don't bring my family up to outside these streams, but I do have a very extended family, you know, a very loyal extended family. Hello, Krista. How you doing, Nomad? How you doing, bro? Now that I'm here, now I know in a previous stream to the ladies out there, I kind of said I made a funny video about, you know, what I'm attracted to in a woman and what I'm not attracted to in a woman. Now, some women, you know, they got a little upset with what I said. You know, they thought they misunderstood biological reality. You know. Okay. Well, they didn't get upset, but since there are a lot of women out here, I want to hear your opinion on this one. Okay, ladies. Now hear me out. Okay, to the ladies out there. Okay. Now, I don't want. This is the last time I'm going to bring it up. Now, if you watch the video, now most men aren't attracted to masculine females. That's women with masculine personalities or physically masculine. You know, men are attracted to femininity, and I will say this. And to give you an example of our point of view, it's an opposite attraction. To give you an example, okay? Now, I know you ladies aren't attracted to men who act like women. Effeminate men. You know what I'm talking about. Those skinny, effeminate soy boys. You know what I'm talking about, ladies. They don't act like men. They don't got no muscles. You know, my voice may be light, but at least I got some strength and some muscles, and you know, I try to make up for them, you know. But the point is that, ladies, you're not attracted to those guys. Those skinny, effeminate soy boys, you're not attracted to those guys. You don't want nothing to do with those guys. You might be friends with those guys, but you'll never want to be intimate with them. Well, we feel the same about masculine females. Now, it's in a slightly different way, okay? Some men might, you know, maybe hit it and quit it with a masculine female, but they'll never have a long-term relationship with her. Men are naturally attracted to femininity. That's basically being agreeable, soft-spoken. Exactly. So my question for you ladies out here, do you think I'm wrong? So we got some ladies out here. You too, Nomad. Oh boy. I'm glad you agree, Angelique. It's just biology. I've had some women just saying, "You're just intimidated by a strong woman." No, I'm not. And I'm repulsed biologically. Like, no, hell no. Especially when I see a female bodybuilder. Oh, hell no. See? That's you, Airgun Johnny, but you're not most men. Most men want women who act like women. That's it. You know? If you did a survey of men today, they would want women who act like women. And that's a good thing, Angelique. That's a good thing. That, you know, that's a very positive thing in my opinion. Godly in a lot of ways. Very good. Not my woman. Exactly, Ergon Johnny. Exactly. It falls on men to protect the family, the kids, the home. Um, are you sure you act like a woman, Krista? Look, and how's your dating life? Oh, you know, because if you lack femininity, a lot of men are not going to take you seriously as a long-term relationship. No, man. A lot of women who lack femininity aren't taken seriously in long-term relationship things. You know, that's a little thing. I'm giving you a little secret about men. If you lack femininity, men won't take you seriously. They won't look at you as a wife, as a potential wife. They'll look at you as yeah. Well, good for you. You beat the odds, I would say. But a lot of you beat the odds. You found a man that was going that I guess went along with that. Now I'm saying it. I'm not saying this is like a set in stone a lot of times, but most of the time, it's relatively. It's basically, you know, it's basically true that most men marry feminine women. So yeah, that's good. No bad. No, it's pretty good. So we have an interesting perspective here. Now there are some men who like masculine females. Some. So it's but most don't, and most don't take it seriously. You know, there was actually a video of a woman who figured out, you know, why she's not getting married. You know, because of her, you know, her basically pierced nose and her tattoos and her muscular physique. You know what I mean? She noticed that all the married men had wives that looked the exact opposite of that. You know, that's true, Aragon Johnny. So true. But enough about this. I asked the question. I got my answer. Well, I'm planning on going overseas to basically find someone. You know, I found that my own women have given me the most disrespect. My own women, white women, have given me the most disrespect. And women who aren't white, brown chicks, uh, like Asians, they find me the most. They like me the most. I mean, it's like, and no disrespect to white women, but it seems that white women have a kind of disrespectful attitude towards their own men. And then, other women come into the picture. I've seen that's why a lot of men go overseas, and they marry Asian women because these women respect them. Men want respect, and if you don't respect your man, there are plenty of other women that will do the same thing across the ocean, and that's what I'm going to do. Mm. Well, that's good, Krista. Very good. So you do have femininity in you, Krista. If you weren't feminine, I don't think that you would be married. So that's a good thing. There's a lot of masculine females out here that want to get married, but they can't. No man will want to marry them. So that's Thank you, Chad. Thank you. I'm going to be a passport bro, is what I'm going to be. I found that women of other races, now men, find me more attractive than, let's say, women of my own race. I have been disrespected by women who look like me in my skin color than other races of women. Go figure. I am more, liked than, let's say, and this is why men jump the fence. Why? This is why white guys have been dating Asian women, by the way. This is why Asian and Latina women. Because they treat them with more respect than white women. That's it. It's not yellow fever. It's not anything like that. It's about respect. Thank you, Krista. Thank you. But I want to point that out to the white women out there. You really got to talk to your fellow ladies, man, about the kind of disrespect you give your own men. Because it makes men want to leave you. It makes your own men jump the fence. I'm just saying here. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? The disrespect you give your own men. I'm talking about your sisters. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about your sisters. You know what I mean? Your sisters, your female relatives or whatever. You know what I mean? Really does come back to haunt you. Okay? You better curb them. You know what I mean? Otherwise, all your men are going to go for Asian women. And then what happens? There are no more white people. Okay, that's about what I'm going to say. Um, it seems like it, Airgun Johnny. It does seem like it. You know? Yes, but here's something about evil, okay? Evil always does. Evil, basically, the chickens come home to roost for evil. You know what I mean? You know, the evil you do comes back to haunt you. Will come back on you 10 times full. You know? Now, I know we got a lot of white men here. Can you agree with me that you get more respect from women who aren't from your own ethnicity than, dare I say, your own women? Am I alone in this perspective? Come on now. Am I alone? Come on, to my white guys out here. Come on. You can say it. Treat it better, my form. Exactly. And this is to say, I'm not saying that, and I'm saying this because to the white women out there, you're really just basically when you treat your own men with such contempt, well, then you wonder why so many of them jump the fence and go overseas and have children, outside the West, and the passport bro movement. Well, exactly, Chad, exactly. For some reason, when I talk to, non-white women, particularly Latina or Asian women, they respect the culture they respect the culture that I come from. They respect the perspective that I bring. Um, they've seen a lot of our like old medieval movies or stuff like that. They respect the warrior spirit of the European man, I guess. Now I'm saying, oh, exactly. And I bet she makes all the women around the neighborhood jealous. The point is here is that You know, I'm not saying, basically anything that hasn't been said before. But apparently the women have left after I said this. You know? Okay. So what do you think about what I just said, Krista? Am I wrong? Do you think I'm wrong? Exactly, Ergun Johnny. I mean, this is why men choose foreign women over native stock. Yeah. Mm. Well, I would say this: you need to tell the sisterhood of white women to basically stop berating their own men. You know, otherwise they leave. I'm just saying here. I'm just saying you should tell the sisterhood like, nah, maybe we shouldn't. Exactly. And what do they say to you, Krista? Interesting. I have no thoughts on it. I'm a Christian. My thought is simple. It's an abomination. That's my thought. Pat. Well, that's good, Krista. That's very good. And you're still married, so. There's a high divorce rate in the West. I can tell you that right now. Exactly, Airgun Johnny. I know, but there is some good news on that, Pat. Some very, very good news. I did a video about it a while back. A lot of parents are starting to get it, and they're starting to take their kids out of public schools. And public school enrollment is rather low in America. Now, with the rise of the online academies, the online cyber schools, you could say, there there seems to be uh, children aren't being enrolled in public schools anymore. Um, you know, the thing is, the whole alphabet community thing they're doing to our children in public schools is nothing new to me, except a lot of times parents went along with it because they didn't know any better in the 90s and the 80s. They basically emasculated a lot of boys with drugs. They called it ADHD. Um, you know, and and parents said nothing because the man in the white coat says it was okay. You know, feminists in public schools saw boys as defective girls, but they didn't openly say that back then. The agenda was to emasculate boys in the public schools. Um, by any means necessary. So I would say that these days, these parents are getting it because the agenda is more out in the open. No one trusts the medical system anymore after what happened during the whole lockdown thing, and nobody trusts public school teachers anymore because they told them themselves on the internet. You know, so public school enrollment is down. Part of that has to do with the rise of online academies, online schools, cyber schools, where you can just you can basically choose what kind of education plan online that you can you put your kid through. It's a strange world, but in a way, I think it's a good thing that public schools are being obsolete with the rise of the internet in a lot of ways. I think it's a good thing in a lot of ways, because I think the public school system has been very detrimental to our society. I think that compulsory schooling has been very detrimental, and I think the things they teach in public schools are atrocious. You know, I've been to public schools, and a lot of things they teach are just bullshit. For example, they said feminism was a good thing in public schools. All the women's suffrage was a good thing. When I looked into the real history of it, a lot of things they teach about history in public schools is bullshit. When you look into the real history of what the actual history is, because I've educated myself about history and stuff like this. I love history. You find out that a lot of things they teach you in history class, like 70% of it is bullshit. 70%. A lot of it's a very skewed, more like leftist view of history. That's true, Chad. But I would say if you have kids, don't send them to public schools. It's that simple, and I think a lot of parents are getting that. Homeschooling is the way to go, but thank God for the internet, because the internet has created a way for people who can't homeschool to homeschool. With online academies, they can choose their education plans, and that's good. That's good. Well, I don't know about that, but I think the parents have realized their mistakes, Chad. The mistakes of their parents. I think it took the whole transformer agenda to basically realize that the public schools are horrible places to send your children to. Think about it. What other place do you know, in any other place, where basically teachers will turn a blind eye to other children assaulting other children? It's like a prison. It's literally looks like a prison. Public schools look like prisons. Yeah, well, I understand. Look, all I can say, if you want to protect your kid, don't protest. Sometimes the most quiet way you can protest is basically, as we've seen, just simply take your kid out of the public school system. Find a good online academy to educate your children with. They're not learning anything in the public schools, I can tell you that right now. I mean, literacy is down in the public school system. So the internet has provided a way to basically get around a lot of this bullshit. You know what I mean? If you're a parent, and I'm not, online academies are the future. They are the future. And I accept this future because it needs to be done. Think about how the public schools are set up. They got these teachers unions and everything like that, where there's no competition, where they can't have a competing, teachers, doing a better job. You know what I mean? Well, basically, you have these unions. There's no competition. You can't bring in teachers that can do a better job than a person doing a terrible job. You know what I mean? How you doing, Chris? So the reason why public schools are so bad, in my opinion, at its core is because, number one, it's compulsory. Children are forced to go into these public schools. Parents are forced to bring them there a lot of times. You know what I mean? If it wasn't compulsory, they wouldn't, it wouldn't be a problem. You know what I mean? And number two, it's the unions. That means you have no way to basically say, if you don't do your job right, we'll basically get a teacher who can do the job better. You know what I mean? So the entire system is screwed up. But the good news is that there's alternatives now. That you can send your kid to an online academy. It'd be no problem. How you doing, Chris? I've said this before. I don't like public schools. I've been through them. I understand them. I know they're sick. It's a sick institution. That it's like a meat grinder for your children. You know that whole Pink Floyd scene in that where the kids jump into a meat grinder? That's pretty much what it is. It damages your children. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Oh, I got 6 likes. I'm liking that. Well, if you just came in, give me some more likes. Awesome. Awesome, Dave. Yeah, but there's also another risk. They are children. The funny thing is, public school is the only place besides prison where you can get beat up. You know what I mean? And there's no legal infractions to it. You know what I mean? You can get beat up and assaulted, and teachers will do nothing. In any other institution, that would not be tolerated. In any other institution, there would be police arresting those people. You know what I mean? But we let kids do that. Oh yeah, I saw that. Looking pretty good. I like it. Haven't seen it yet, but I'll talk about it. So tell me, what institution do you know where someone can beat you up and get away with it without any punitive things? I've noticed that in public schools. Any other, situation, any other. In the real world, that would be looked upon with arrest warrants. A security guard would be busting heads. You know what I mean? Well, a little bit. But I'm just saying, it don't make no sense. A little bit, Pat. A little bit. But I also did my share of revenge. Now I've told my story. I've done some things. No man. No man. A lot of those bullies didn't mess with me because I was psycho. I was a psycho kid, because I'd fight dirty. I would use knives and weapons and ambush them. Yeah, I'd take an ass whooping, but a good 2x4 to the back of the head is what they would take. You know, mm. Slash their face. Yes, I've stabbed people. I've stabbed people. I've slashed their face. I've gotten into fist fights. I've done it all, my friend. Those were the old days. Well, that's the situation that I was in. But yeah, it was a terrible time for me. But what I'm trying to say from the logical point of view is that you can't do that in a workplace, Ken. You can't like get into fights in a workplace, like on a job. You can't just basically go out and beat someone up for no reason. You know what I mean? Exactly. Now, I've been in fights. I've won some, I've lost some. You know what I mean? But I've always stood my ground. You know what I mean? I've always had some balls. And I never backed down. I never gave up. And I always got my revenge. That being said, the point is that public schools are set up crazily. They're like prisons. Who wants to sit? Would you like to send your kid to a prison? Not me. You know? But, my complaint about the public school system, it's over. My life has changed, but, I got no kids of my own. But when I say these things, if you got kids, for Christ's sakes, if you got them in the public school system, get them out. It's a terrible place to be. You're better off dropping your kid off in the Amazon rainforest. That's what, and that's what I'm going to say. You got that right, Chad. I've always made videos that explain this, okay? I can be, but I have a balance about myself, Pat. I'm not gonna. I always have the philosophy. It's like be nice until it's time to be nice until it's time not to be nice. You know, I can be as polite. I come from Southern roots. My dad's from the South. He taught me good manners have good manners with people, to be respectful and kind. But if you're not respectful and kind to me in return, I can verbally or physically take you down a notch. You know what I mean? So I got a balance about me. But, I'm glad, and I am so glad by the grace of God, that so many parents have taken their kids out of public schools. You can look it up on the news. Public school enrollment is down. And I'm like, yay! That's a kid saved, in my opinion. That's a kid saved from destruction. Thank you, Pat. Thank you. You got a lot of these keyboard warriors out here. But would they say those same things to me to my face? Probably not. Well, I'm glad they are. I really am. I never took the inject, you could say. I never took the inject when the whole lockdown thing was going on. You know why? Because I dealt with a medical tyranny at an early age. So I knew exactly, I believed doctors before, and I was deceived and I was harmed. So there is, I had that never again philosophy that I'll be a human guinea pig ever. A lot of you out here, many of you took the inject, but I didn't. Now I'm feeling good, feeling fine. Well, in the chair, yeah. I took karate for several years. The best self-defense, I would say, is basically not being in a situation where you have to defend yourself. You know, a lot of people, the best, I would say take up a martial art. One of the best, I would say, martial arts to take is yeah. Well, you remember, Dave, that I was the first one to protest it, me and you. So, I took Ishinru karate for 6 years. I've learned to strike with the knuckles first. These two knuckles. I would say learn a martial art, but I would say it's one of the best martial arts to learn is maybe Muay Thai, or grappling style like judo or jiu-jitsu, uh, wrestling. Also, like I said, less than lethal launchers do work. Um, get yourself a Grimberg gavel, one of those powerful, less than lethal pistols on the market that can break bone. If you shoot them in the head, they're dead. Anyone can own. Simple pepper gel or pepper spray is good and effective. Knives. One of these. This will take the spring out. This will get them dancing. You'll see it. They'll be dancing the lambada after you after you give them a taste of this. You know what I mean? They'll be like tap dancing. Yep, it was a stun gun, my friend. A stun gun. Flashlight stun gun. They got these new rechargeable flashlight stun guns. You can have a flashlight, and it's a USB rechargeable. This is only like $14.99 on eBay. You can get different versions of these. Simple. And how inexpensive, Chad. Go to eBay or go to Amazon. You'll find them for about $14.99, or basically $12 or $20. You know what I mean? Depending on the size of them, depending on the they're like USB rechargeable, so no need to worry about replacing batteries or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Exactly. For example, when I got beat up one time, I wish I had a can of pepper spray. If I had a can of pepper spray, I would just sprayed all of it. I would have sprayed everybody there. You know, I wish I had a can of pepper gel or pepper spray, because I wouldn't have gotten beat up. But I got my revenge afterwards. I may have got jumped, but hey, you know. But if I basically, I think it's like 9,000 volts. 9,000 volts. Trust me, it hurts. I accidentally put my hand on it once, and I couldn't feel my arm for a second. You know what I mean? It hurts. My teeth were chattering. You know, it hurts. Yeah. The bigger ones pump out more voltage. That's so true, Pat. So true. Like I said, if you got an Amazon or eBay account or any other kind of, like online shopping account, if you don't live in New Jersey, you can buy one of these wholesale. You know what I mean? These things will basically take down an attacker, give you time to get away, and you know, they come in handy, I'll tell you that. This is like a Batman gadget right here. It looks like Batman would own something like this. Trust me, this will get him dancing. If you want to see a mugger dance like a tap dance, that'll get him tap dancing. Tap, 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 tap. You know? For home defense, there's a lot of options out there. A lot of options. And there's a lot of options for people who can't have firearms, okay? There's a lot of options, alternatives for people who can't have firearms out there on the market. So I say that you can defend yourself even if you can't own a firearm. And there are ways. Trust me on that one. You know? There are so many options available to you. All right, we got 9 likes. I'm liking that. Anybody still in the chat? The chat's going cold as the winter chill. As Jack Frost is nipping at my nose here. Come on now. Don't let that chat go, Jack. Well, I guess I gotta go. It's been a good stream, everybody. God bless you. Have a Merry Christmas.